feel like your family was playing a never-ending game of chess and you're just a pawn on the board? The narcissistic parent is the queen, powerful, calculating, and always 5 moves ahead. The rest of the family, pawns. And depending on the day, you might be crowned the golden child or labeled as the black sheep. Either way, the game is rigged. Welcome back. My name is Jenny Gaston, licensed professional counselor, and today's video we're diving deep into how narcissistic parents create those roles, why they keep siblings in competition, and how those patterns carry out into adulthood until you decide to break the cycle. And if you saw my last video on generational trauma, you already know narcissism doesn't start with your parents, but it's a legacy of pain that keeps recycling through the bloodline. So grab your coffee or your journal and comment below, were you the golden child or the scapegoat? Or maybe a mix of both, depending on the forecast in your house. Now let's be honest, no family is perfect, but in a healthy family, love isn't earned. Every child gets to be imperfect, curious, and human. But in a narcissistic family, love is conditional. Attention is a form of control, and the narcissistic parent creates roles to regulate their fragile ego. Now, the golden child represents the parent's idealized self, successful, attractive, obedient, and loyal. This child is rewarded for compliance and consistency, not authenticity. Then there's the scapegoat, or aka the black sheep, the designated problem. That child is blamed for everything that goes wrong, often because they tell the truth, resist control, and dare to have boundaries. And guess what? These roles can flip temporarily, especially if the golden child starts questioning the parent's authenticity or authority. That's when the crown gets snatched real fast. It's emotional musical chairs and nobody wins. So let's talk about the psychological game siblings play. Because children are often chess pieces, unfortunately. The narcissistic parent thrives on triangulation, keeping siblings at silent competition so they never unite against the real source of dysfunction. They always say things like, "Why can't you be more like your brother?" or "Your sister always listens." That's not parenting, it's psychological warfare. This is how manipulation turns into rivalry, and children start performing not out of love, but instead they try to compete against each other and they don't get a chance to develop a real sense of self. That's the point, because if you are busy fighting your sibling, you're not questioning the parent's behavior. Side note, it's a tactic that also is used in government systems. But let's stay on the topic at hand. Comment below if you ever grew up feeling like you had to earn love or approval. You're not alone. This is a learned dynamic, not your identity. Now, before we break down the difference between the golden child and the scapegoat, how are we feeling today? This is my feeling pillow, because this topic can be intense, right? How are we feeling? Journal about that. So let's start with the golden child. Often praised, spoiled, or idealized, becomes an extension of the parent's image, is taught that love is performance or perfectionism. The golden child may struggle with guilt or identity confusion later on in life. Now let's talk about the scapegoat, also known as the black sheep. They are often criticized, blamed, or excluded. They speak the truth, but often pays a price. The scapegoat is typically more independent, outspoken, and empathetic. They may carry chronic shame or people-pleasing habits because they never really got that validation growing up. These roles exist to, again, protect the narcissistic, fragile self-image. The golden child keeps them feeling admired, and the scapegoat is who absorbs their shame. It's like emotional recycling, except nobody's going green here. Over time, both roles are damaging. One loses authenticity, the other loses belonging. So how do you heal from a family dynamic like this? Well, first you start by telling the truth, because gaslighting tells you your experience were exaggerated or your fault. But reclaiming your narrative is the antidote. Therapy, especially cognitive behavioral therapy, CBT, can help you untangle those internalized lies. And as a therapist, I'm always the first to say I have a therapist. There's no shame in getting help. Journaling helps you to realize a story in your own words. And if you want additional support, I'll leave a video with some cognitive behavioral journal prompts that you can utilize. And this is a hard one. You may have to go low contact or no contact. Sometimes that's the healthiest options. If you got siblings who are open to healing, family therapy can help you rebuild a new dynamic. Emphasis on open to healing. But if they're still deep in the fog, protect your peace. Your healing doesn't have to rely or require everyone else to be ready. So let's talk about self-care. Self-care is so key. It isn't just bubble baths, it's boundaries, it's therapy, it's supporting things that makes you feel good. And this is also a time to support small healing-centered businesses, because healing is a collective act. And for example, I love Sincere Naturals Hydrating Butter. It's soothing on the skin, and it just reminds me to nurture my body, right? That carried me through many storms. And if you're into art therapy like I am, check out Sincere Gaston's artwork. I will definitely leave links in the description. I believe that art can be a grounding reminder that transformation is possible. Little things like that helps us to reconnect with ourselves. If you're looking for resources to go deeper in your healing journey, I recommend Dr. Ramini's book, It's Not You, How to Heal from Narcissistic Abuse. And for community support, check out my Facebook group, No Contact Not Chronicles. It's a safe space for people who are healing from narcissistic relationships. Because sometimes the best healing happens when you realize you're not the only one who's been through it. So I'll definitely leave those links in the description. So let's pause for a moment here. Comment below if you've actually read Dr. Ramini's book, or if you're part of a support group that has helped you to heal. We are a community, and your comment could help someone else to find their first step. So here's a takeaway. Narcissistic family systems survive on division. They want you confused, guilty, and constantly performing for approval. But the truth is, you were never the problem. You were just the one who saw it clearly. Reclaim your story, reclaim your peace. In my next video, we're going to talk about narcissistic rage, what triggers it, and why it's so explosive, and how to protect your energy when the storm hits, especially if you have a staff member, a boss that showcase this. So don't forget to subscribe, hit the notification bell, leave a comment if this resonated with you. And as always, take care of yourselves. Much love.